When you want to do a satin stitch, which is a zigzag that's really close together, instead of taking a zigzag and trying to shorten it, because it really doesn't want to shorten all the way down as you would want it to. It's just going to go from 0 to 1, and you don't get all those smaller increments in between. You want to go up to row 3 and pick stitch number 10, 11, or 12. One is just a narrow one, and then the medium size, and then a wider size. But you'll have all the increments in between to adjust. So we're going to go to our stitch menu button in the top right corner, arrow down to group 3, that's here, not that one, arrow over to group 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll just type in 1, 0 quickly. And you'll see that the first setting is 2 millimeters wide, but the stitch length is 0.8. Do notice that you get to put on the B foot. The B foot has that great little cutout underneath, and that's going to really make your satin stitch flow forward and not get kind of hung up on your fabric. Now, anytime I do a satin stitch, I do like to make sure I have my fabric stabilized, at least 2 layers of fabric, but a fabric and a piece of tearaway is actually best. So as we start off with this particular stitch, you're going to find that you can just see what kind of setting 2 millimeters is going to be. And then if we go to stitch number 11, and then how wide that one is going to be. And if I want it wider, but just a little bit wider, I can go ahead and make the width. Just touch the width plus, and that will get you all the way up to the different settings. But stitch number 12 is the widest setting, built in at 6 millimeters. And then you could go ahead and make that go up even to 7. So let me show you what the widths are going to look like as you do it. Now, depending on your thread thickness, you may want to shorten this up just a little bit. You can kind of see a little tiny bit of gaps in between there. Sometimes I want to make that just a hair shorter, so a stitch length of like 0.6 would close that up, and especially if you had thinner thread. This is kind of a medium thread. A thinner thread is going to probably need to be brought together no matter what. But if you get a nice heavy looking satin stitch, remember that foot B is going to be the one that's going to let it flow through and not get hung up. So find the right settings for the fabric and thread that you've selected, but use your built-in satin stitches for applique.